Okay, audio check, mic check. I am live. I will copy this link, share the link very soon. Alright, so a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you join us from in the world. Welcome to the Indian Racing League Division 2 race around Australia. At the moment, it is just me, Chipchima, alone in the comms box. I might have somebody join me in a bit. Maybe Smith might join me, but yeah, for now, it is going to be just me. So, we have cars filing around the track for their outlaps. It is Q1, it's the short qualifying session. And let's see, I see if the two Ferraris who are championship leaders at the moment, tied on points, Shrikant Das and Harsh. First of whom is going to, the latter of whom is going to start their lap first. Harsh starting his lap. Is he going to use battery? Is it going to just do a sight? No, it's not a sightseeing lap. It is going to be a flying lap. So Harsh in towards turn one goes the Carlos Sainz Ferrari. Let's have a look at his braking. It's a fairly smooth braking, and I see a yellow flag. That's probably for some backing off. That's all right. Through turn two, it was a nice run through there. DRS open. Turn three. Let's have a look. You cannot touch the grass in this game. It really throws you off, but he navigates it well. A bit of rear sliding there. Now approaching this fast right-hander, I will brush up my corner names prior to the race. It seems to be a dry quali and a dry race as far as I can see, and it's a 27-1 in the first sector. That's the first time you've seen. Definitely expect times to tumble down from here. Now through this re-profile section, I believe this is turn 7 and coming up is turn 8 under the barrier, under the bridge there. I'm gonna call it the bridge. Now through turns 9 and 10, I shall have a look. Lifting off a bit there. I think you could take a bit more speed through there once the track is a bit more rubbered in, but it's a second sector complete for Harsh. Thankfully for him, I think he's going to avoid traffic come the end of the lap. Harsh approaching, navigating the. I don't know what that corner is, but this is the penultimate corner. Stays away from the grass, a bit of yellow flags. Yes, PSI. Buongiorno, hello, Sidvi. Nice to see you. And Harsh to the line. He goes provisional poll 117,839 and PSI requesting an invite. I shall oblige. At long last, I cannot see you online, PSI. Can you please come online? I will send you the invite. PSI Legends. Nahi bhai. I can't see you online, and Ace is out of the session. He has crashed out, so let's have a look at what's happened here. His car is in the barriers, and Swag Boy getting a penalty for a collision with Ace, which is alright. Multiple things have occurred in the one brief moment I took to pause the game and send the invite. Khosrow saying Harsh needs to be removed from D2. Yeah, multiple people need to be removed. Khosrow, I think you need to have a new division, Division 0 for yourself, given the speed you have been showing these past few races. But yes, welcome to the chat, Khosrow. And PSI, if you can appear online, I will send you the invite. Harsh has left the session. I shall send him an invite as well. As I can see here, it is Shooter who has, I think he's on his in lap. Yeah, I shall send invites to Harsh and PSI, and then I shall get back to the racing action very soon. I cannot see Harsh online. HIJK, no. I assume Harsh has had a bit of electricity issues or internet issues, which is there's no other reason for him to just disappear like that. PSI, please drop a message in the chat if you can see if you once you appear online. I was like, I can't. Okay, I can see you now. Okay, join in PSI. I will also. start a new party with you. While all this is going on, my apologies for not being able to focus on the action. I'm trying to figure out a way to get my co-com here, co-commentator, and I have sent him an invite, and I'm in the party. Okay. All right. I hope the stream is still live, as I will switch on board to somebody on a lap. So you can beat me not on a lap, while I have just seen the Merc of Ramen finish his lap. P4 for him. At the moment, a 118.6, so about 8 turns down on Harsh's time. Casual 8 turns for him. Vintage has invalidated. Shrikant has just started his lap, so maybe we can go on board with Shrikant. Welcome PSI, please join the party now, and we shall have a nice comp session tonight. Through this tricky section, if you invalidate this corner in single player races, it gives you 9 seconds of penalties. Let's hope they will fix that in the upcoming patches. You know, you can't expect a $1 billion company to fix game-breaking glitches for their flagship game, but nonetheless, through this reprofile section, I don't know, in my personal opinion, I would have liked the old section as well. I'm not the greatest fan of this long section, continuous high-speed section, but Shrikant navigating this chicane, and he cuts the turn spectacularly there. That was, I wish it was close to being legitimate, but yeah, illegitimate. Yeah. Now we switch over to Spandan, who is currently P4 in this championship standings, if I'm not wrong. I think it's the shooter who's P3, Harsh is P1, Shrikant's P2, or it's the other way around for the Ferrari boys, but yeah. So one Ferrari on pole, and Spandan having a bit of a moment there, but he is, I think he carried a bit too much speed there into that corner. That's pretty easy to do. I have done it on a couple of occasions. Look at how close he's sticking to the right side of the track. That is, I think that just goes to show the edges, the limits of the track. He is using up exactly the shortest amount of possible track space that he needs to, and he jumps over the curbing and he makes a mistake, and that is quali over for Spandan. One mistake can ruin your entire qualifying session, and unfortunately for Spandan, that mistake has cost him a good qualifying position. Vintage boxing, probably. Yeah, he's out of battery as well. Deadly Mosquitoes left the session. So people, I think some issues with this lobby. Maybe this is the host I'm riding on board with. I hope not. Let's move on board with Nishan. His battery indicator is not changing at all, so it should either go down or go up. If you're either conserving or you're deploying, and it is going up, the battery indicator. So I assume Annie's invalidated anyways. Welcome back, Deadly Mosquito. SSN is on a lap. Yes, SSN on a lap. So let's have a look at his lap. Through this tricky left-hander, easy to invalidate, but he keeps it well within track limits. Through the fast right-hander, I will look at my corner numbers in a bit. End sector 1, I cannot see the lap time delta because the comments are coming on my screen. It's always a good thing to have comments come up on the screen. Hello PSI. Buongiorno.
La Maumel. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are very much audible. Lama Omal to you too. Guten Morgen. And just as you said the fabled words, we saw SSN in P7 break his front wing and almost ruin his entire quali session. So firstly, welcome PSI. Yes, Ethan Alpine boys on comms. Nice to see. For once, see, it's good to have both Alpines alive in an Australia race. Unlike the real life counterparts. Yeah. Very much so. Exactly. Many things can happen. But yes, welcome PSI. You can start by taking us through the remainder of Spec Boy's lap. He's just about to approach the end of Sector 1. So I think you know your corner numbers and all that. So just let us know. Oxley's meanwhile taking pole. 117.3. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know corner numbers because maybe you should.
I don't know corner numbers either. I just know vague descriptions like the fast straights, the quick chicane. Yeah.
The interesting left-hander, the sweeping right-hander too.
Yes, that is the only appropriate way to describe corner numbers around here. Corners as well, and we can you can take us through the remainder of whatever's left of Swag Boy's lap. Just the fun few corners. Let us know his.
Okay.
Increase your volume, please, before you do. Sidvi is saying he can't hear you. Sidvi, please let us know once he's audible properly.
How about now, Sid?
Yes, Sid, please have a bit of a check. I think it should be audible. I can hear you much better now. Ethan is going to be back very soon, so we are eager to see you back, Ethan. While we see Shooter P2, Harsh
What a
has
legend.
Harsh has been out of action for a few minutes. He was disconnected, but he set the provisional pole. He was the very first lap time on the board for Harsh, so he's about to start a lap. He could steal pole away from Oxidize. So why don't you take us through the entirety of Harsh's lap?
Sure. I think, yesterday I was having a word with Shooter and Shrikant, and they both, they both just said one thing, that Harsh is insanely quick at Australia. So I expect no less from him. There's a very real chance he'll be on pole. But Ori goes with his lap, a little messy there, but still good one. Turn one, brakes, takes a little of the curb, and that's a pretty clean exit. Keeps it pretty clean. DRS open. Brakes here. Takes the right hander. Smooth. You have to be smooth. You have to be very smooth with the corners here. Little bit of wheel spare there, I think, but still keeps it pretty clean. Sector 1, is he down on his time? He is. He is by a tenth and a half. He's still keeping it up. Takes these corners very, very smoothly. There's a lot of DRS zones, by the way, Chips. Would be really nice to see some overtaking here, especially in these long straights. This left-hander is very fast. You have to take it very smoothly. He takes it pretty cleanly as well. I didn't see what his sector 2 time was, but I'm hoping he's down. Good braking here. Very tricky to honor that. Pretty good on the exit. Takes this right hand pretty smoothly as well. That's a very smooth lap, by the way. It's a very controlled lap by Harsh. Oh, and as soon as I say that, he had a bit of wheel spin there. I hope it didn't mess it up too much. And he crosses the line and improved by a very small bit, but still not enough for any position change.
Definitely. So that was a nice walk through the lap there. Thank you very much, PSI. Thank you very much.
Without remembering any corner numbers.
You don't need corner numbers or corner names to have a good walkthrough. But then again, it's surprising to see that Harsh, who was on the pace and on the limit, is 4 tenths behind our pole sitter at the moment. Just under 4 tenths behind Oxidize. And a fair ways back from Shooter as well. So, do you think there was any point in the lap where he lost time?
Yeah, I mean, definitely sector 2 and sector 3 is where he would have lost time. And I think sector 3, the final, just before the pit entry, that corner, the left-hander, it's very tricky because by the time you reach there, the tires are already crying. They're already overheated, and tire wear is a bit of an issue here. So, yeah,
Yes.
I think he really struggled there. Otherwise, it was a very controlled and smooth lap, Chip. I think that was a pretty good sector 1 by Harsh. He was 210 pounds, so.
Yes, certainly. I assume we're going to see good things from Harsh in the race, but for now, multiple drivers in the pit lane, I assume they're all going to come out at the same time, which is going to result in a lot of RG-bargy for track position. As we see SSN out of the way, Domithor is going to be PSP7 at the moment. We saw him with that spectacular strategy last time out in Spa from, let me recollect, 19th to 2nd or 20th to 2nd, wherever he came from way back to finish just behind Harsh. A clean race for him. And so let's have a look at his lap. If you note somebody else's lap, then just do let me know. I will switch over to their POV. So let's be on board with Domithor as we see the cars filing out the pit lane. 2.5 minutes left in the session. Is everybody gonna get to the line in time? I do not think so. Because, and look at the traffic ahead of Domithor. There's a Williams, who is that? Probably Abdul. He just exited the pit lane. The other Williams, there is no other Williams. Okay, never mind. That is Abdul. But Domithor navigates the traffic decently, although has he already given up on the lap? No, he is still on the lap because you will see the charge indicator go up a bit. But as he end sector 1, he's up on his time by some margin. I can't see that because of the comments, but and that's a good thing. I like that. Through this fast section, this re-profile section, some are fans of it, some aren't. I am not necessarily, but the McLaren getting out the way there, and he ends sector 2, one all just over a tenth up on his time, navigates that chicane nicely, and there's a loose bit of debris on the track there. Take this acute right-hander with a good bit of precision into this fast right-hander, medium speed right-hander, I don't know what to call it, but approaching the penultimate corner, he's done a nice lap. What is this gonna net Domithor in terms of track position? I think he could move up just ahead of Mayank, or if he's had a brilliant last sector, he could trouble Shrikant, but as he comes up to the line, Domithor goes P6 just ahead of Mayank. So he does not have any time for another lap, so that is it for Domithor. And drivers on their out laps, are they going to be able to get to the line in time? What about Harsh? Harsh, where's Harsh? I think Harsh will be able to do it. I don't. Where's Shrikant?
I think they would be able to, but like there's a huge pilot there, especially Deadly Mosquito. That pilot there was a little. Wow. He has. I think he went off track because there was a little bit of dirt on his tires. But...
Swag and Domithor out.
Oh!
Let's have a look at somebody who is in that section.
What happened?
There's an Alpine, there's a Merc going through there. Oh no! This is like Robert Kubica and. Who's the other guy? Sorry, Robert Kubica and Seb Vettel, 2009. It reminds me of that. I don't know, we missed that, but with just 20 seconds left in the session, I think Raman's up on his time. He could displace Shooter, I believe, at the moment. Pratham in the Alpine, in P2 at the moment. I do not think he's on lap. Yep, 3 seconds down. So that's Pratham's best time, and it's a great time by him. What about Shooter? Shooter in sector 1, he is up on his time. And that is quali over. Abhi cannot finish the lap even if he's on it. What about, I see a Haas coming up to the line. Nishan is invalidated. He's going to be no better than P15. You can beat me. No, there's a Red Bull coming up to the line. Is that oxidized? No, that's his teammate SSN. Yeah. No, he's boxing. Okay. So an Alpine to the line. He's also boxing. I see. It's so annoying to switch all the time. Raman's invalidated. What about 7? Who's following? No, he's ahead of us. Raman, and he's going to go from P10 to stay in P10. He is 9,000 slower than his personal best. I see a couple of drivers finishing their laps. Oxidize! What a brilliant lap!
What a legend.
What a brilliant lap. Yep.
And Shooter is crossing the line as well, Chips.
What can he do? He can go P1!
And he goes pole. What a legend.
3/10 faster than Oxidize. Unbelievable. What about Shrikant? No, Shrikant's invalidated.
Oh.
You can beat me.
I don't even know.
Yeah. You can beat me. Could not set a representative time. I think he was on. No, he's on fresh soft. So maybe he just made a bit of a mistake during the lap. But look at that. Oxidize and Shooter. Unbelievable lap times by the both of them. Stonkingly fast.
Yesterday, I guess when Shooter said Harsh is insanely quick here, the sandbag was real.
Yes.
The true sandbag.
Most certainly. And let us run through the order. So why don't you do that, PSI?
Okay, sure. So Jishnu finished on pole. That was an insane lap. 17, almost 17 flat there. But pretty even pace, I think. Oxidized Rage P2 in the Red Bull, Pratham P3. Harsh, then Raman, Srikandas, Domithor, Mayank, Deadly Mosquito, Sen 7B, finishes in P10. Then down the grid we have Swayboy, Abdul Samad, SSN, Vintage Player, and for sorry, yeah. Nishan, You Can't Beat Me, Abhi, Spandan, and 8 finishes the grid.
Yes, your voice is a tad bit robotic, so if you can do something about that. Anything? Any possibilities? Little bit robotic. We have Hosha with Jishnu in chat, so if you could please let us know when Arav, I think that's Vicky. I don't think I've raced against you much, but I think that is you. He's predicting 7 for the win.
I'm on the grid.
What? Huh?
And in the Alpine.
Wait,
Wait, what?
I can't see the Alpine garage.
No, why would I be in the
PS.
garage? I'm on
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
grid.
PSI Legends in the garage. Be very cautious on the first lap and retire at the end of the first lap. Just. I think you're gonna. Where are you starting? Last?
Oops, I'm starting last, but yeah. Well, it's a good thing I can tell you the weather, I guess.
Yes, do let us know the weather.
uh,
Wait, your voice is
that's
breaking.
it, that's
Your voice is
the
breaking. Your voice is breaking. Okay, we have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights out of the drivers. And it is lights out both Ferraris with a jump start. What? How on earth do you do
No!
that? How on earth do you do that? Shooter still ahead. I see him on the mediums. Let's have a look at the tire strategy. But this is abhorrent for the Ferrari drivers. How do you get 2 drive-throughs? Unbelievable. I'm sorry. Let's get back on track. Shooter still leading. Let's have a look at the tire situation just before we start. So, the entirety of the top 9 are on mediums and Mayank and 7 trading places. Look at this traffic jam behind them. This for the minor point spring positions P10, P9, and look at Vintage having a whole host of understeer, and he is holding off SSN. Up ahead though, Mayank and Spandan trade places, but what about the 2 Ferraris? What about Oxidize and Pratham? Oxidize almost getting squeezed to the wall there, but I am utterly speechless. And thankfully there's somebody in P20 who's nicely staying out of the way there. Thank you for not interfering with the race. Yes, very nice, very nice. And I assume both of them are gonna file into the pit lane any moment now. Okay, one stays out, one comes in. Shrikant is gonna box. Harsh is gonna stay out, so he's gonna go the extra lap. Oxidize still chasing after the cars, and Shooter with the fastest lap, but I just don't know what to say. I've never seen both teammates do this ever. And yeah, Jishnu and Ashra. Yes, Ferrari things, just Ferrari things. The yellow flag in the final sector.
I'm not sure what the hell is happening. I think some of these boys are confused about formation laps and if the race has started or not.
Yes.
Because
Swag Boy is driving ultra slow on the main straight for some reason. Yeah,
the final few. Yeah.
What is Swagboy trying to do? What happened here to him? I had lapped it. Okay, not telemetry. Behind him, you can beat me out of the pit lane. He is boxed. He's changed his tires. Okay, that's a very early stop for you can beat me. Abhi, he's fine. But whoa, what exactly are we seeing here? 7 and Spandan battling. Arav and Spandan already lap 2 and he's got a penalty.
Oh
and
no.
What's going on with Oxidize? Who spun?
Oh my.
And he's down in 13th. Unlucky 13th for him. It doesn't become a lucky 14th, nor a lucky 15th, nor a lucky 16th for Oxidize. Super unfortunate for him. And Spandan, meanwhile, is hot on the heels of 7, while Harsh stays out for another lap. So he is trying to. I think what he's trying to do is build up as much of a gap as he can, and Mayank with a penalty. Harsh has to go into the pits this lap to serve his drive-thru. If he doesn't, he is going to be disqualified. Oxidize boxes and the Red Bull crew very quickly come out of their seats into the pit box.
Yep.
But yeah, just walk us through the tires, PSI. What do you have to say?
Actually, sorry, I didn't have a look at that. But sure. Most of the grills are mediums. Mayank and Abdul are hards. Very interesting. Abhi is on softs. What a legend. In hards the start here, or at least what people are thinking, I guess, or medium softs. I'm not sure, but yeah, very interesting.
Yes, let's have a look as the race progresses and find out what strategies the drivers choose. While we will have, oh no, I thought I saw McLaren go a bit wide. Yes, Spandan under threat from Mayank now. Both of them have penalties. Mayank tries for a dive but can't do anything with it. What about Harsh? He has to box and he is boxing. Alright, so at long last the Ferrari driver serves his drive through and slow down for the line in time please. Thank you Harsh. Now Shooter inherits the lead. At long last, Pratham in P2 and Raman into P3. So it's been a horrific start for Oxidize. Like, this one
Yeah,
of the
it has. I mean,
biggest horror shows we've seen. And look where Harsh has come out. He's come out ahead of Ace. So, or has he? Yes, he is clear of Ace. So, there are three cars between the. No, I'm seeing things, sorry. Two cars between the Ferrari drivers. And Shrikant is stuck behind Abdul. Ahead of whom is Ace, ahead of whom is Harsh. So, I think Harsh made the best out of a bad situation, while Shrikant just wanted to get rid of the bad situation at the earliest convenience, which I think it shows why it hasn't really paid off. He is now behind Abdul and is stuck there, but with DRS enabled on this lap, are we going to see a move from Shrikant, from somebody, from anybody? Do you think so? I think Shrikant could be looking to make a move, but I think Abdul is defending pretty hard. Around the outside goes Shrikant, but can he make the move stick? They are side by side, they have slight bit of contact. Abdul has to see the position and he takes out the horse. It's a violent impact and the horse survives somehow. And unsurprisingly, that's a safety car.
wow.
Violent impact for Abdul there. And Shooter could not get to the pit lane in time. But yeah, nobody's gonna box. You think anybody's gonna box?
I don't think so. That early, I don't think so. Unless, I guess,
Abhi might box. Yeah, exactly. Only driver who. No, he stays out.
No,
Why?
he doesn't. What a legend. What a legend.
He stays out.
He
Ace
doesn't need to pit. The pits need to pit. I don't even know what I was saying there. What a legend.
Yeah, the pit
But
lane.
people do pit though, Chips.
Ace, SS and Nishan. Nishan, I mean, understandably involved in that accident to some extent.
Yeah.
I think he's just a bit shaken up, or does he have damage? Doesn't look like he has. No, he doesn't have any damage. And he's on to softs. So, if you remember, I don't think we had a race last season 9 in Australia, did we? D1?
We did.
Sorry,
We did.
not D1. Australia? I think we had that was season 8.
Don't remember what season. I just remember I made a video. So Australia, but yeah.
So I remember in that race we had 5 safety cars. That is the limit that the game lets you get to. And Australia is a haven for safety cars.
When Hungary this season for D2 we had 4 safety cars, I think, or 3 safety cars in the span of 10 laps. And well, this is the first one, the first 5. So I guess let's see. But there was a very how do I put that? There was a very interesting cohesion there between Abdul Samad and the Haas, I believe, of
Nishan.
Yeah.
Oh, your voice is super robotic. Super robotic. Yes, I can't hear a thing of what you said there. I can't understand a thing of what you said, and also couldn't hear. All. So if you can just check your mic audio while I run us through the position changes. Surprise, surprise. Yo, who is this?
I use PS5 mic audio now.
Okay, you sound exactly like you do in your meme video. Nishan in the pits! And I'm not even joking, that is exactly how you're sounding right now. Nishan boxing, and yeah, the game did not change his front wing, so it was set to auto, and Nishan unfortunately could not change his front wing. I was trying to think of a nice keyword with a nice wordplay with auto, but I couldn't think of anything there. So forgive my speech. Swag Boy up 2 places, Ace up 6, Spandan up 11, Abhi up 6 as well, sorry, missed that. 7 up 4, Deadly Mosquito up 4, Domithor 3, Raman 2, Pratham 1. And look at that, 15 places down for Oxidize.
Yeah, man, that's really sad.
Yes. Now your voice is a bit, it's sounding like you're a bit far away from your microphone.
Oh, I was there. That was
Alright.
far. But Yeah, so unfortunate for Oxidize there. I think in Hungary as well, he lost a lot of positions in the race. So
Yeah,
really some bad weekends there, but hopefully it improves.
yeah. I don't think race starts have been very fortunate for Oxidize. He has, I think it was, I can't remember. It was either Spa or Hungary where we saw him lose out massively at the race start. I think it was Hungary because we were doing comms and yeah, we had a multiple lobby restarts. Look at Pratham having to slow down. Look at Raman having to slow down. Everybody having to slow down, and I don't think that shooter's issue because the safety car was called in really late. Look at how wide Domithor had to go there to avoid the Merc ahead of him. And this is a well tightly knit pack. I will be onward with P3 Ramen. So why don't you take us through the safety car restart, PSI?
Actually, I'm finding my headphones. So
Okay,
maybe
okay,
you
okay,
can do that.
no problem. I'll do that. So shooter tentative, still tentative, and he's bolted midway through the part between the penultimate and the final corner, and it's been a very good restart for him. He's pulled out almost an 8-10 gap on the driver behind Pratham. Uh, Spandan chasing after 7. Look at how close these two are into turn 1, but 7 stays ahead for the time being. If I remember, 7 drives with no assist. That is pretty remarkable and pretty impressive that he's able to maintain such high pace. What happened to the Ferrari of Harsh? Harsh has had a spin, I think. Yup. Something's happened to Harsh. And he's all the way down in last place. Oh no, that has not paid off well for. It's not been a good race start for the Ferrari boys as far as, well, their race starts go because it's Shrikant in P9, Harsh in P18, and they both got drive-throughs, so championship lead doesn't suit them. Spandan's out! Oh no! Oh no, there's a... Ouch! And I can hear myself in the background. Ouch! Safety car again! We've had barely a lap or so of racing and another safety car. So something happened to Spandan, obviously. Let's have a look. It's Seven's car because Seven and Spandan were very close. And oh no, Shrikant is out as well. Okay, so Ferrari's day is going from bad to worse. One driver is out of the race and the other one is running in last place on track. Does Shooter pit? No, he does not. He stays out. What about the others? Is anybody on the mediums going to bite the bullet and pit this early? I don't think they will. Maybe Abhi might pit? No. Soft tire supremacy for Abhi staying out on those. Not old necessarily, but worn soft tires at this point. Vintage and Nishan boxing, so is Harsh. Harsh, I think he should change the strategy up. That's the only way he can salvage something from this race. And the Ferrari boys running out in the pit lane. A front wing change. You can see the broken end plate there for the Ferrari car. Nishan does not have a front wing change, but he's getting rid of his penalty. Vintage just changing onto a set of hard tires. Oxidize, he couldn't capitalize much on the restart there. And yeah, Harsh onto the. Everybody who's boxed has gone onto the hard tires. Bar Ace, who pitted a few laps earlier and went onto the mediums. So let's wait and see how that plays out for him. Abdul had pitted, but he obviously retired. So at the moment, out of 19 runners, we're not counting PSI, obviously. 19 runners, we have 16 left, and you're back. All right. So I've been on a monologue. I was wondering if you had connected your mic yet. So yes.
Yeah, I hope this mic is better. Is it better?
Yes, better, much better. This is better than the previous two combined. Still a tad bit robotic, but I think we can live with that. No issues. Yes, so let us know if you have observed anything in these 8 laps, out of which Spandan left the session. No, Spandan's retired. No, mind, sorry, yeah.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, that was so. I don't know. I'm lost for words for Harsh because that was really unfortunate. I don't know what happened exactly, but I just saw he had a lot of position losses. But yeah, and Shrikant DNF. So
Yeah, did you catch that?
something. No, I didn't actually. I just saw Harsh lose position. What happened there?
Harsh spun at the Alpine corner. I don't know. I think that's turn 2, exit of turn 2. Yeah. So Harsh spun there and onto the fast section where we see the sector 2 indicator on track. You can see that on the full track map. So around that area, I saw Spandan's car parallel to the track, not parallel, horizontal to the track. And drivers went through his non-ghosted car. Thank you, Codemasters. Thank you very much. And I didn't notice Srikanth out and Nishan drifting through turn one there. So I think we are a few rounds away from Suzuka, Nishan. You can hold your horses till then. You can do Tokyo drifts over there. Up ahead, though, shoot. Nobody taking the opportunity to box. Do you think they're going to be repeated safety cars? Because we had barely, what is it, not even two sectors, one sector of racing, and then just a few seconds after that, we had another safety car. Are you expecting another safety car very soon?
I don't know about very soon, but I just know there would be another safety car. There has to be because this track is very like fast flowing, and if you try to make a move at a non-overtaking zone, I guess, or a corner, it sometimes results in a collision. And there's a very high likely chance of that happening here due to the nature of this track. So let's see. I do think though there would be another safety car, but I just hope not.
Yes, and the safety car is going in, so it is also hoping to not come out again in this race. Meanwhile, I just want to mention Abhi stayed out two safety cars and he decided to stay out on those soft tires. So he definitely expects another safety car very soon. Look at the bunching up ahead. Australia has a tendency to be very, very bunched up at the restarts. I think we saw it in 2022 in the real life race, if you remember. Max was very close to Charles at the safety car restart. So this is not the best place for a safety car restart because look at how tightly the pack is, how tight, close-knit the pack is. Deadly Mosquito almost runs into the back of Domitor, or maybe he did, just thankfully no damage there, or at least nothing visible. Let's have a look at Pratham's onboard, so why don't you take us to this restart?
Yeah, let's see. Shooter, he went for it a little early there compared to last time, and it's pretty neat restart by Shooter. The top three have just gone away with it.
Oh, no. And we see Oxra is in the pit lane for some reason. He's changing on from hards to mediums, I assume. Something's happened to him. Maybe does he have front wing damage? And we see Abhi and SSN trading places. SSN getting ahead of the AlphaTauri driver. Helmut Marko has mandated that to happen, so understandably so. And he is ahead. So, welcome Abdul. Welcome to the chat. Unfortunate incident for you. Just walk us through what happened there. Did you lose your rear end or were you tagged by Nishan there? But I think you just lost your rear end a bit, carrying a bit too much speed there. Let us know, Abdul, what happened. You there, PSI?
Yep, sorry.
Yes. Yellow flag once again! Harsh! Hits the wall! But he keeps it going! Unbelievable! What is happening to the Scarlet Cars tonight? And Domitor and Raman trade places. Who is that deadly Mosquito going across the grass? This is F1, not Farming Simulator. Mosquito, stay on the track. We are yet to see that as a PS Plus game. But I think he's a bit too eager, and so is Domitor, who overshoots his braking point. Raman overshoots his braking point, and Nishan with the penalty somehow. Deadly Mosquito and Raman side by side through the last corner. Behind them, 7 looking to pick up the pieces from this incredible scrap. And I think it's going to be Linus' turn, but everybody's going to hold position as they go towards turn 1. Abhi and A straight places, so Abhi's falling back. I will not be able to read Abdul's comment because I can't see the entirety of it. He got a touch from Srikanth. I think Srikanth was out before that, yeah? No, that is... Oh, no, yeah, that is lap 3. Sorry, my bad. Alright, unfortunate there, Abdul. And Nishan out. Nishan is out. And where did he retire?
Where
did he retire? There's no car. There's no car. Where?
He's just gone.
Where's the
gone from the Matrix?
I think we are living in a bit of a simulation here. I recently watched Inception again, and I think we are living in a bit of a...
Even I watched Inception just recently.
Nolan moment. We are living in a bit of a skewed timeline, I think, regarding this, because this is the first time I haven't seen the car anywhere. It usually stays on the minimap for a bit. Maybe we have to ask Nishan for an onboard or some POV of what's happening. Yes, Abdul, probably some black magic happening. Because there's no other way to explain this. Do people pit? Shooter pits. Pratham stays out. Domitor Pitts as well. So it's an Alpha Aston Martin double stack. Raman Pitts 7 also. So multiple drivers choosing to double stack. Domitor with the penalty. No, Domitor. Mayank
Oh
stays
no.
out on the same tires he started the race on. SSN staying out. He boxed early. Um, so Abhi in the pits, what is Abhi going to do? He's going to go onto the medium tires, sensibly so. 7 on the softs. Okay. That's something I didn't expect. Did you expect 7 to go onto softs?
I actually didn't, but then again, he would be in a party with, I think, You Can't Beat Me and everyone else, so maybe he's just having fun, but let's see.
Definitely so. But I think he is banking on another safety car. So it's been 12 laps and this is the third safety car of the race. We are guaranteed 2 more provided incidents happen, and given what we've seen, incidents are bound to happen. Without a doubt, without a shadow of doubt. We see Swagboy, Pratham and Mayank stay out. They are the only drivers who stayed out on the same tires they started the race on. So if you were them, would you choose to box now?
Yeah, it was actually a perfect opportunity to box. I think they should have boxed because Shooter boxed, especially Pratham should have boxed. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that Pratham did box. I think he's clinging on, I mean, hoping on another safety car. So let's see if that happens. Um, but he could also play it smart here, Chips, if you know what I mean. If during the
Yes.
safety car restart, he could try to kill the tire temps for these hard runners because it's obviously very hard to.
Yep.
It's very
Exactly.
hard to reach or bring hard tires to temps, but let's see what he does in the safety car restart, I guess.
I think so. If he should play it smart. Ideally, that is the most ideal thing to do. I don't know. Pratham, he has free strategy. He doesn't have a teammate to worry about tonight. Because I think it is AKQJ or it was I don't know, Leeds Hip Hop. One of the guys was supposed to be his teammate. Oxidized has just got up to the field. We will probably see the safety car in this lap. Do you think so? I think we should. Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah.
Because once we cross the line, once Pratham crosses the line, we are going to be just under halfway through the race. 29 laps.
True.
Well, that's pretty impressive. Halfway through the race, 3 safety cars, 5 retirees, 4 retirees. What do you make of that?
I'm just speechless. I'm just kind of sad for Harsh there. I'm sad for Srikanth. I don't know what happened exactly. But yeah, I think it's still a good race for Shooter though. I don't know if you saw that, Chips, but when Shooter and Pratham were fighting, Domito was holding the pack behind, and especially Raman behind. So that was a pretty good teammate work there. But I guess now that the safety car is in finally, it would be interesting to see how the grid goes along, especially what Pratham does.
And I think there's a bit of a heavenly divine voice reaching Pratham, for he was going supremely slow there when the safety car came in. So there is a divine light of Alpine which is going through to all Alpine drivers, regardless of where they are racing, real life or virtual. But look at Pratham. Just look at the way
Alpine
he
is
is.
true love.
Exactly.
The love message goes without any communication. It goes.
That is the best.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Best mode of communication. Pratham, he has bolted, but he spun!
Oh! Alpine is love. What did you do? No!
And nobody can overtake until they reach the line. But look at Swagboy and Ace. Pratham having a disaster of a restart. Swagboy chasing after Ace. He is on old tires. He has a half spin. Up ahead, SSN chasing after Mayank. Ace right behind them. Swagboy not enjoying those tires. You Can Beat Me going very deep into that corner, almost making contact with Vintage. when he came back on the track, but thankfully they all stay alive for now. Harsh cannot make up places. I'm trying to track his progress as well. And look at that behind. I saw two cars there. That's Abhi and Harsh. I think that should be an easy pass for Abhi because for Harsh because Abhi should let him by. He usually does that. Doesn't try to race people too hard. But look at this three-wide battle: Shooter, Ramen, and Vintage. And Vintage getting swallowed up by the two of them. But Ramen cannot get past. So he's been swallowed up by Shooter, but not by Ramen, who is still chasing after. He jumps over the curb there, Ramen. That was a bit of unfortunate thing. He'll get a track limit warning for that. Vintage trying to dive down the inside. Ramen with around the outside. I think there was contact there. I certainly think there was because Shooter had to come back on track in a bit of a unfortunate fashion there. He was first off there. Ramen trying to make a move on Vintage and he makes it because Vintage goes wide. You can beat me and Shooter and Vintage has been tagged by Ramen and Vintage has been spun. And what's he gonna do? Is he gonna go into the box? I don't think so. What about Pratham? What about Mayank? Meanwhile, Mayank under threat from the Red Bull, and the Red Bull might make a move. He goes out of the slipstream, he pulls alongside. Is he gonna break later than the Alfa Romeo? He might, he does, but he can't make the move because Mayank had the inside line there. That shows how crucial the inside line is. Look at Swag Boy, so close to the Alfa Romeo there. But he can't get past. Wow, so much action going on. Unbelievable.
Truly. I think some of the thing is, Chips, some of the guys here have
Shooter makes the move.
the tires and some haven't.
And Shooter gets past Swag Boy. Swag Boy trying to get in the DRS. Sorry, not the DRS, the slipstream. 7 into P8, not in P7, unfortunately for now. Domithor trying to challenge him. He can't. Oxidize and Mosquito coming so close. You don't make an overtake there usually. And this has opened up the opportunity for Harsh. He might make a move. Meanwhile, 7 trying to make a move on the Harsh driver. He makes it with ease. Domithor having a 5-second penalty, but he can't make the move right now. Shooter already in P3. Already. It's been 2 laps from the restarts. Yellow flag. I see a yellow flag. Or something. I think something happened. Further back, Domithor has fallen back a fair bit. Yellow flag. Domithor boxing. It's a safety car. What? Why?
Alpine.
No, Pratham's still there. Oh, he's lost his front wing. Okay, yeah, he lost his front wing. Crucially for the leaders, they avoided the safety car. Yeah, look.
True.
They're so
but
lucky.
I guess I don't know whose hand this plays into because I think most of the grid can now pit on hards and take it to
Domithor
the end
softs. Why is Domithor on softs? I think he's just using these tires to scrub them in. He's banking on another late safety car because you can't. Tire wear is very heavy over here. It's pretty. This track is very harsh on the tires, and unfortunately for Harsh, this race is also harsh on Harsh.
I don't know how many laps you can do on these soft strips. I think
You can't.
10 is the number, or maybe 8. I don't know.
I think so because there's no way Domithor is going to get to the end even with another safety car because his tires are going to be absolutely short.
True.
Dom!
Whoa! I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. What the fuck? Oh man. History repeats. This is not the first time I've seen him do that, by the way. This is like, I think, oh my god. I do believe there was one race where he had 2 drive-through strips. I don't even know what to say there, but
I don't know. This is unbelievable for him. Mayank boxed. Swag Boy on 16 lap old mediums has stayed out. And it is pretty obvious from that one onboard that I saw that he was massively struggling. He was drifting there, barely able to keep his car. And if you look at the sky, meanwhile, it's a bit overcast. It's getting a bit darker. Do you think we're gonna? Did you see some rain forecast in the?
No, it was just showing cloudy, and just to make sure, I even asked Jeff, "Is it gonna rain?" And to my disappointment, he said no rain. So.
Unfortunate. That's
no rain.
Yeah, unfortunate.
But never say never, Chips. Who knows what happened? What will happen in D1 tomorrow?
D1 is set to be a proper spectacle tomorrow. I'm pretty positive of that. We have seen that across time and space. But yeah, no rain tonight, unfortunately, viewers. Do let us know what your predictions are for the top three because we have, once we cross the line, 12 laps to go. And in those 12 laps, absolutely anything can happen. We could have Domitor into the podium places. And if you think that's a bit of a stretch, just go back and see the Spa race. He knows how to drive and he has good pace in this game. He can do something, I feel. Pratham at the back of the field, can he do something? He was leading this race at the last restart. He is now going to be at the tail end of the field on this restart. Is the safety car going to be in? I don't think Pratham's closed up by enough. It's a very late call.
That was a very late call in. Oh my god.
Unbelievable. And this is golden for Shooter.
And I don't think they have warmed up their tires either, so it's going to be a little tricky.
Exactly. It's
especially for the hard runners. So.
Sneaky train to the line. SSN has bolted. That is not a great way to do a restart. What's happening behind? Swagboy drawing level alongside Ace. But he can't make the move and now he's under threat from Raman who has overtaken the McLaren driver. No, they haven't because they're still side by side. They made some contact. Harsh trying to make his way past the McLaren and the Merc. And they go towards turn 3, I believe this is. And he's been overtaken by Oxidize. No, this is not a great restart for Harsh. But he's still there. He's trying to make move on the outside and he does. He gets past the Red Bull. But how long? But for how long? He is struggling, Harsh, don't you think?
Harsh is struggling, but it's good to see him make some places. I think the mediums will take him till the end and hopefully he has a good charge and Shooter already makes a move on SSN there.
That's the lead of the race for Shooter, our pole sitter. And for the back, look at Harsh and Co. Swagboy has been tagged, I believe, and that has led to the AlphaTauri having to take evasive action. Good reactions there by Abhi. Really good reactions. I don't think anybody else would have been able to, most others wouldn't have been able to avoid that. And he's been squeezed into the wall there by 7, I believe that was. I think that was also because 7 was being squeezed by Mayank. But let's have a look at their onboards later on in the steward's room because I think that might be something to talk about. Ace boxing. But why?
Oh, boxing.
Why? He has made his mandatory pit stop, so why don't he just carry on for a bit longer?
Damage, maybe?
Maybe. You can beat me in the pits. So many drivers taking this opportunity to pit. Ace, Swagboy, You Can Beat Me, and Domitor. Domitor with a drive-through, obviously, so he's not making his pit stop. But up ahead, DRS is not enabled yet. I think we'll have DRS on the next lap. How many laps have we had with DRS? 3. I think it's been 2 or 3.
Not a lot, definitely, but look at that. It's like just 1 lap after and he's already pulled out a 2.5 second lead.
On SSN.
Shooter is absolutely flying there.
While behind, I think what happens is once the DRS gets enabled, but Ram is not going to wait for DRS, he's going to make the move on the Red Bull. A Merc making a move on a Red Bull. Is this 2021 all over again? Ferrari trying to make the move on the Red Bull now, and SSN struggling on those old hard tires. And it's a fairly straightforward move for Harsh, who gets past just before the end, approaching this acute right-hander, but he had to take some evasive action because of Raman slowing down much more than he expected him to. SSN letting Oxidize by. He's letting his teammate by. So that's fair enough. Swagboy with the penalty. His tires are catching up to him. No, he's on fresh tires. Okay. So Swagboy, I don't see why they pitted now, because given the amount of chaos, there is almost certainly bound to be another safety car. But actually,
there is.
If there isn't, then it makes sense for them to box. And they have done so.
I guess if a safety car comes out, it's soft till the end. But Chips, look at this. I think we are in for P2, P3, P4 battle till the end of the race. I think.
Yes.
Because Raman and Harsh have both pitted on different tires on the same lap, and Harsh is definitely on a charge here. So let's see how this one goes.
Will Harsh's tires last the distance? DRS is enabled, alright. DRS is enabled, and Harsh can't get the move done on this occasion, or can he? Approaching the fast chicane, he cannot get past now. But if he gets a good exit out of this corner, which he does, he might be able to line up a move on the Merc driver, and Raman is powerless to defend the DRS charge. But he has track position somehow. And what's happening to SSN? SSN getting swallowed up by two cars, Seven and Mayank, and Seven getting past the Alpha driver in the process. Mosquito trying to get past SSN, but he can't do so on this occasion. SSN is struggling massively. He's dropped from P2 to P7 in the matter of one lap. Should he box? Do you think he should box?
Maybe, or maybe he should just stay out and hope for a safety car. I think that would be a better option because both the Red Bulls are doing the same strat. I think they're staying out on hards and taking it till the end.
Yes. SSN Stars 2 laps older than Oxidizes, and Deadly Mosquito and SSN almost having a massive crash there. Thankfully, thank heavens they managed to avoid it. Coming to blows completely there. But yeah, round 2, Harsh and Raman, can he make the move? Oh, he can. Not even a competition there. With DRS and that's
Very
it.
easily. That was a very smart play by Harsh there. He was waiting for. I think he knew Raman was using a lot of his battery, and yeah, he got him on the main straight. Pretty smart.
Yes.
But let's see if he can catch to Shooter though, which I think is a bit of a stretch at this point. 3.5 seconds. But
That-
never say never. Who knows?
That is going to be difficult, but it's going to be very easy for Vintage, who gets past the Red Bull driver. SSN down in P10, soon to become P11, I assume, because Abhi is not going to hold back. With the rate at which SSN is falling back, he should look at boxing. A shooter with the fastest
Oh
lap.
my god.
He's pulling out a gap on Harsh.
I'm oh my on hards, my dude.
Oh no, SSN. He did box for mediums, and he's out. Okay, he's retired. Okay, in the pit, so that's fine.
Oh, in the pit.
Swag is a long way back on Abhi, and that promotes Abhi into the points. SSN's retirement, and we're now up to 5 retirements. Wow, that's been very chaotic, and we are about to see some more chaos. I think Ace and You Can Beat Me battling towards turn 3. They go. You Can Beat Me breaking very late. There is a tad bit of contact there, but I think You Can Beat Me has been tagged. Oh no! The commentators come, and he gets a penalty for good measure. Something happened between Seven and Mayank, so that's normal DRS overtaking. I think that is not. So You Can Beat Me and get that penalty removed. That was. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I did see that. I think he was on the inside there, so obviously he was required to have a little bit of space. But I think the turning just tapped him out. The field is pretty spread out, don't you think, Chips?
Yes.
At least in the top
Top 10.
5-ish.
I think the top 10 is
Yeah.
pretty well behaved at the moment. The closest on track are the two teammates, Vintage and Abhi. And I think it might be in their best interest to maybe let Abhi by with DRS on the next straight, because he seems to be having a bit more pace at the moment. And as they go towards turn 1, they do swap places. Vintage being a very good teammate to Abhi and unleashing the
I think
charge.
we might have got a warning there, but
Yeah, I think so too. He overshot his braking, and yeah, now Vintage is chasing after his teammate rather than having him follow. And Domitar's out, Domitar's out, and at the Alpine corner, that's a safety car. That is
it's a safety car.
fifth safety car, fourth safety car, fifth, I think.
I don't remember the count, but I just know one thing. It's time to Lamau Mill in the softs. But
This has thrown
let's see.
Ace.
No!
No Ace, you were. Hello Yash, nice to see you. And PSI, you're Michael Jackson.
I am.
As per
I am.
Yash, yeah, you are.
I'm a smooth criminal. Smooth criminal. Dun, 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 dun. There
He'll
you
get
go.
a copyright strike. IRL will get a nice copyright strike because of that. And the shooter stays out, Harsh stays out, Raman stays. Yes, Oxidized pits, crucially Oxidized pits. Mayank stays out, Seven stays out. Nobody's boxing, only oxidized
Wow.
boxing. So they're not taking into account that vintage boxing. Okay, fair enough. Expect Swag to box as well, soft, fresh softs. If he has a new pair, which he probably does, and he goes a bit hot. No, he stays out. Why? You're not going to gain any considerable places. And I think Oxidized is going to come out ahead. Yes, so Swag Boy should have pitted, so Ace did pit. But Ace has a drive through. He might retire, I think. You can beat me boxing, he'll definitely go into softs. And he almost comes to a standstill entering the pit lane there. But will there be enough laps left in the race for Oxidized to do something about Shooter Harsh to hassle them?
I'm not sure, but it's going to be. I mean, this track, as fast as it is, because of the nature of it, sometimes it's just sometimes hard to overtake, especially with like full ERS and you're deploying. There would be trains, and to get past them quickly, you need to have like significant pace advantage. Probably Oxidized does already have that. You can easily get up to P5 and cross 7, but it's still a bit of a, I guess, void that we have to still discover. What I'm, although what I'm like thinking about though, Chips, is what about Harsh and Shooter? Harsh is on 12 lap hold mediums, Shooter is on 12 lap hold hards. Has the crossover already happened for us to think that, you know, they both are on pretty much the same tire right now? Oh! No!
What happened? I just switched over to you. Beat me for a
Shooter!
moment.
Shooter lost his wing!
Oh! Oh, the moment I switch camera away to see where you can beat me, because caught up, he's lost his wing. He's missing an end plate, and I assume no doubt he's gonna box. No, he stays out.
No, he's not boxing. He's not boxing.
There is a significant error
What
loss in the
the
second
hell was
sector.
that? I think Shooter ran into the safety car.
Did he?
And
Because I saw
I'm
Harsh. Now
not.
Harsh is in the lead.
Yeah, I'm not making this up.
Oh,
I
I see
think
some
Shooter ran
rain.
into the
I,
safety
I
car.
think I saw some rain.
What?
I saw few, I don't know, pitter patter drops. What do I call them? I saw some drops of rain. Or was
Well,
it
I
just
don't
my?
see anything,
Yeah,
so
okay.
maybe
I
you're
think that's.
George Russell or something.
Yeah, maybe there's some sweat on my spectacles. This is only.
Singapore, sweating and all, but I'm not sure. That was so. My God, that completely caught me off guard. I don't even remember what I was saying, but
Yeah,
I think he ran into the safety car. I
let's have a
think.
look at the race director incidents. Okay, stewards, enjoy this for your user as well. So no, we don't. We haven't seen him hit the safety car, so there's no warning for it. Usually, you get a warning for a collision with the safety car, so he does not have that.
Oh.
Did Harsh overshoot his braking point because Shooter had to slow down
I'm
a lot
not
because of the
sure,
safety
Chips.
car?
All I remember is these top three were very close to each other, and then you remember the corner before the Dorito corner, if you know what
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
And then
that's exactly where they made
suddenly,
contact. Yeah.
yeah, that is
And
exactly where they
swag
made
with a
contact.
penalty. Okay, no. And with
Oh
for a
my
penalty
God.
collision with Oxidize. So, Azun wants me to ask you about AIL, PSI. Do enlighten
Well,
us.
Alpine is love. Look at me in P20. Somehow the game decided to give me Alpine. Coincidence? I guess not. So,
It all works out.
um,
HVP
but
currently it is. And firstly, welcome HVP. It's been a very long time since we've had you in
oh
the
yeah.
chat. So welcome HVP. Currently, Shrikant and Harsh lead the way in the championship. And speaking of Harsh, he is struggling. Look at the way he's struggling to put the power down. Raman, hot on his tail, is about to take us to the safety car restart with the best possible view in towards turn one. We go. Vintage and Swag trade places. They should give it. No, I think Swag is in the pits. Raman still chasing after. I think I
Oh,
saw Williams on the
shooter!
grass. Yeah, saw Williams on the grass.
Shooter! No, 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 no.
Something happened to
Oh
Shooter.
my God.
The Shooter's falling back, falling out of contention. He's under threat from Mayank, and he's been overtaken by Seven, who's into the podium places. And he's chasing after his teammate Raman, who is chasing after the race leader Harsh, who's on 14 lap full mediums, while Raman's on 14 lap full hards. Mosquito with a penalty. So many things going on. Mosquito's out!
Oh, yellow
Oh
flag.
no! I think Pratham caught that. Yeah, he's missing a front wing. So
Would it be a
Alpine disaster class
safety?
for Alpine. Unfortunate there. He was running nicely in the points as well, and that is promoted. No, Mayank is now past shooter. So shooter should have pitted. Swag with another penalty.
Shooter should have pitted
Exactly,
indeed.
like he would have lost some time. He's looking.
But
Oxidize is past. Oxidize is already past the Aston Martin driver. This is disastrous for the Aston Martin. And his teammate is
yeah,
retired. He is in sixth and falling. Look at that understeer, chronic understeer. It's like he's driving the VF21. And Abhi is gonna get past him, no doubt. And shooter boxes, and somebody calling Harsh a cheater. I think you may have to provide a bit more reasoning as to why,
that
because
Harsh
we
is
didn't
actually.
see anything. He bumped into shooter and broke his wing. Okay, so that's what Clinton Rebello is saying. We might have to see some more proof while
Oh,
Vintage and Abhi, teammates at turn 2. Please don't do that. We've seen Alpines come together while Oxida is getting past Mayank around the outside. A spectacular move by the Red Bull driver. Vintage and Abhi still battling. You can beat me trying to get past Vintage, but he can't do anything because he's stuck behind the AlphaTauri. While, do you think Oxidize can hassle Seven, Raman, or Harsh come the end of the race? It's just 2 laps to go. No DRS yet. No DRS yet. I think DRS is going to be enabled on the next lap. You can beat me and Vintage side by side through this quick section. And approaching the fast chicane, you can beat me still in the slipstream of the AlphaTauri. Can he make a move? He can't. No, not possible. Unfortunate. And Pratham carrying on those without a front wing. He didn't box.
the
Ace.
strength of Alpine, the true strength.
Yes. And Raman's out of DRS. Raman's out of DRS. Crucially, Raman's out of DRS. This is going to be important because Oxidize has got a massive lead to 7. And we have just 2 laps to go. This is the penultimate lap. Raman's back within DRS and he needs to stay there. He needs to stick within a second. He's just outside that second. He's teetering on the brink. He needs to up the pace if he wants to get DRS, which is going to be crucial for his charge. If Harsh makes even a slight mistake, it is Raman's opportunity to strike, opportunity to pounce. Vintage and Abhi trading places. Now Vintage ahead. He's on 4-lap-old softs. Abhi on 16-lap-old mediums. Team play again at work. These two work very well, I believe. They are very good friends and they work very well. While Oxidize's tires are working well, making him move on 7. Can he do so? Around the outside, does he have DRS? Yes, DRS is enabled. Does Raman have DRS meanwhile? No, Raman has no DRS, but yeah, 7 down in P4 now. Oxidize in P3 for now. Can he get... Oh no, I'm not going to be on board. This audio glitch is horrible. So you can beat me getting past Vintage. So you can beat... Swag is out. Swag is out of the session at the last corner. And you can beat me onto the gravel there. And Vintage getting back past and they bang wheels. And Abhi looking to get past. He can't. Almost coming close to contact, but thankfully staying clear of it. You can beat me has to get his composure back, but this is the last lap for the race leader Harsh. After a lap 1 drive through, he starts the last lap leading it, barely ahead, barely clear of DRS from the car behind him, Raman. Can he get to the line? Do you think so? PSI.
I hope so. I mean, both of their red lights are flashing, Raman and Harsh, so they're pretty much out of ERS. So it's the best Harsh can capitalize on. Oh!
What happened?
Never mind.
Lag?
Sorry,
Lag.
I think that was just lag from Harsh on my screen because.
And Vintage and... Oh no, Vintage and... I think you can beat me came to blows, or maybe Abhi. Something's happened. Easy level saying penalty for Harsh coming up. Raman is not within DRS. That's it. That's it for Raman. Unless there's a very late penalty, no position changes are going to occur. Harsh and Pratham is... Ace and Pratham. Ace is passed. Harsh and Raman. Harsh has done enough. With just 3 corners to go. No, 4 corners to go, sorry. This Dorito turn, this is where we saw a lot of incidents behind the safety car. But I think Harsh, he has made amends for his drive-through at the very start. He has had a lot of misfortune, but he comes up round to the final corner. And he has driven a brilliant race and he's going to come across the line and win the Australian Grand Prix. Raman's P2, Oxidize with his soft tire gamble finishes P3, 7 just behind in P4. Mayank stayed out, finishes P5. Abhi P6, but he has a penalty. Will he fall back? I don't think he will because you can beat me at the same number of penalties. You can beat me 7th. Ace will finish 8th. And Shooter gets past Pratham. And Pratham, can he hold off Vintage? He can. So that is it. A brilliant race ends with Shooter winning it. Look at the dot on the left side pod of the car.
Wait, shooter winning it?
Sorry, harsh winning. A lot of comments there. A lot of comments on my screen. Yeah, a lot of comments on my screen. Somebody mentioned Shooter, and I just got a bit carried away there.
But I
Yeah.
think to be fair, no offense to Harsh, it was shooter's race. Though I think shooter pretty much had it. I don't know what happened in the safety car,
We will find
um,
out in the.
but good drive by Harsh as well. That was a very brilliant recovery.
Yes.
Someone in the chat is saying there could be penalties for the
Yes,
top
Easy
three.
was
We
saying that
don't know
there's
yet.
penalties for Harsh, not for the top three. Yeah, I think Oxidize made contact with Swag Boy, but for now, let's have a
Yeah, I
look
think
at the top 10. So
yeah.
you should run us through the top 10.
So Harsh finishing on the top of the podium there. Good drive by him. Then there's Raman and the Mercedes. Oxidize, what a recovery. He lost a lot as well initially. 7, that's a very good drive. P4, Mayank in P5. Abhi in the Alpha Tauri P6. You can't beat me in the Haas P7. Ace P8, P9, Shooter. That's really unfortunate. He didn't get the fastest lap though, so good for him. Alpine is love. Pratham is P10. Somehow in the points, I think there was a pretty good drive there by him. First time and as a full-time driver, so good one. Then there is P11, Vintage, Swag Boy, Deadly Mosquito, P13, Domito, and SSN, Nishan, Spandan, Shrikant, and Abdul finish up the grid with
And
a lot
there's a
of
goat.
DNFs.
There's a goat at the bottom. You forgot something.
And there is a insect at P20. But yeah, he has DNF'd as well. In the Alpine though, so
Yes.
still very happy. Somehow the game gave me that. So
Yes, miracles happen. And one thing I noted, Shooter was the only one in the 119s. Nobody came close to the 119s in this entire race.
yeah, so what he would have done there, Chips, is he would have just exhausted his ERS. He got it in
Yeah.
the
On the hard tires. He got it from the hard tires. No, he got it on the hard tires. Or did
Are
he?
you sure? Because he pitted on soft.
He did. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I think he did pit and he.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's invite the top three. It's Harsh, Raman, and Oxidize. So if you can add them, or do you want me to?
I can add Harsh and
I'll add
Harsh
Oxidize.
Oxidize and
Okay,
Raman,
you
right?
have them added?
I'm gonna try finding them. Just give me a second.
So I can see Harsh, I can see Oxidize, and I can see Raman. I've added them the three of them.
Oh, perfect.
There we go. Alright. So PSI, what's your takeaway from this race? And looking forward to tomorrow.
I guess overtaking here, some of the corners are very difficult. Tire wear is, well, like we expected. It's it's not great either. What needs to be done is after safety cars, like making a move and making sure your tires are heated. That's the trick. At least that's what I took away from this race. But yeah.
Fair enough. That's a nice takeaway. We have Oxidize with us. Hello, Oxidize. Hello. Is your audio sharing enabled, Oxidize? If somebody in chat can please let us know while we start off with you. You're in, and Raman's here. Welcome, Raman. I hope Harsh joins as well. You were in the Red Bull, right, Oxidize? Yeah, you were in Red Bull. Yes. Okay. So, Oxidize. A great finish for you. P3 after that late race gamble for those soft tires. Walk us through your race, and when you saw hardly anybody else pit for the softs in the end, what was your reaction? Well, you can be very happy with this. A very good result for you. PSI, anything you want to ask him?
Yeah, Oxidize, I think you and your teammate were staying out on hards for a while. I think you guys did 14 laps or 15 laps on the hards, I'm not sure. How is that, staying out on hards at a track like Australia where we do know tire wear is a bit of an issue? Oh. That's that's a very interesting thing to hear. That new tire mortal, I think something that Chips and I didn't predict, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, good race by you, Oxidize. Good recovery. That was a pretty good drive.
Well done, Oxidize. Now we move on to Raman. Are you here, Raman?
Hi.
Hi, Raman. You are P2. You were so close at the end there. Unfortunate that we were tracking your progress. You were, I think, 1.2 seconds at the final DRS detection point when you was gonna get DRS, but you just missed out. And on lap 28, I mean, and that really sealed your race. Just let us know, but still, P2 is nothing to be ashamed of. You've driven a very good race. Just walk us through your race, and if I'm not wrong, there were a few incidents that you involved in some argy-bargy and whatnot. So just walk us through your race and the incidents, please.
Well, firstly, quali I wasn't happy with, but how it ended, like P5, the guys in front were actually faster than me, so I think that was a pretty decent, like the result was decent. Starting the race was, it's been so long, I don't even remember what the race start was like, just stayed out of trouble for the most part. And then in the middle part, again, me and Shooter coming out together in traffic, again like battling really hard, again giving each other as much space as possible. But I think last to last race it was Spandan, this time it was Vintage player who got involved, and I got blocked, he got through, and I think a guy of his pace, like once he gets through, it's really, and you have cars between, that's really, so once that happened I just kind of calmed down a bit and just got the passes done easily till we were like both P1, P2, and then Harsh was obviously extremely fast. And I think going to the last restart, I think it was Shooter, Harsh, and me. But I don't know what happened. But I know that particular part of the track is notorious for brake testing. Like obviously not intentional, I'm sure, but yeah, that happened. So I was keeping a pretty healthy distance, and as soon as that happened, I saw a Shooter get rammed into the wall. I got the position. Now, I know I got P2, so probably could have done better. But in terms of pace, I mean, Harsh is like 4/10 a lap faster than me in this track. So I'm very happy with P4. And yeah, I don't think he had damage. I thought he had damage, so I was pushing as well. But once I made a small mistake, and once you get out of the DRS, it's really not catching him. So I'm very happy with P2, and especially with like a double. I think 7 got jumped by Oxidize, so great job to Oxidize as well. But for Mercedes, a great result. Very happy with the result. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what happened in the start though. I think there was both Harsh and Srikanth got
yes.
drive-throughs.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was Srikanth's fault, but yeah, that helped.
No, that was on me.
But yeah, that's a very good drive from you, Raman. Starting P6, I believe, in the race, and
5, I think 6 or 5, I don't remember.
Yeah, making all the way to P2. That's a pretty good drive. Tell us one thing though. I think a lot of times you were stuck behind cars, right? Like you said.
Right.
How is the DRS trains here? Like, was it incredibly frustrating to be behind cars, especially when there are not a lot of corners here to make a real overtake?
It was. I mean, especially like when your only chance of a race win is like going away, so it is a bit frustrating. But I knew. I mean, and one thing, I mean, for me, like something I'm really proud of in this track is like more than the wheel-to-wheel action. Of course, I mean, it is a track known for crashes and everything, but more than that, I think my priority was to like not make like unforced errors like track limits and all that. So that is like my main battle was like in my head and not with others around me. So the passes were pretty clean, I think, because I did have tire advantage. It wasn't that difficult, just about having the patience. Other than that, yeah.
True. But yeah, pretty good race from there. I'm sorry, shooters commented in the chat made me laugh. But let's move on to Harsh now, shall we, Chips?
Yes, certainly. Congrats, Raman. Well done to you. But we move on to P1. Harsh, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here.
So, you go from a drive-through within the first milliseconds of the race to the race win at the end. However, there is a talking point and a very big talking point here that I don't know what to call it, the Dorito curb incident with Shooter behind the safety car. Just regardless of that, apart from that, I think you had a decent race. It was a bit scruffy. I think I was following you. At one point, you hit the wall and bounced back onto the track. Was it like somewhere around lap 10 to 15?
Yeah, that was behind vintage player. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is regardless of that, just walk us through that incident, but more than anything, your race, because this has been an incredible adventure for you from what was it? You started P3, right? Where was it?
Yep.
P4.
P4, yeah, P4. You went all the way to the back. I think it was P11 or 12, and you were staying in that general area. Then finally you got your way through, but you had that incident. Regardless, you finished. Just let us know. Let us know.
Yeah,
happened?
so basically, I started the race from last position twice today in safety car restarts. Firstly, it was drive through. You guys know very well. I don't have to say. But yeah, so got the drive through. Shrikant and I both made the jump start. So Shrikant decided to pit first. I pitted in lap 3. I thought I was faster than Shrikant. Then safety car, and then yeah, so Shrikant decided, and we decided that I'll lead the team for now. We won't fight. Then the safety car ended, right? So Mayank was on really old tires, I think, old hards, and I was on fresh medium. So I went for the move in turn 1. And Mayank got past safely, but then Shrikant, I don't know what happened there. I think we banged wheels and I went around in like the early laps basically. So
Yeah.
And then again behind vintage player, I was going for the move after turn 4 and I was too close to his rear wing, so I took a evasive action, caused me a wing damage. And then finally, I have no idea what happened in the last safety car behind Shooter. So it was my AI driving. I didn't even know I hit Shooter. He was in the same party, so he told me that you did hit me. So I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, hopefully he'll report me and I'll get the penalty if I deserve it. But yeah. Overall, yeah, great pace. Ramen had great pace at the end there. He had me worried for a second that he'll catch me in the DRS. And yeah, props to Oxidize. He was around me the whole race, the whole time. I could see Oxidize around me. And yeah, props to him for the podium.
And congratulations to you. You had good pace. Regardless of what happened in the steward's room, I think you can be happy that you did have the pace despite everything that was thrown at you today. All the calamities, you still managed to come through and finish in one piece, and that too in P1 for the moment. So well done, really well done, Harsh. A good drive by you.
Thank
Good
you,
good pace. PSI, anything you'd like to ask, Harsh?
Yeah, I mean, Harsh, pretty good drive there. I must say that was a very good recovery, especially after what happened in the first few laps of this race. How difficult was it to like overtake? Because I do know that I think in Hungary as well this has happened where you lost a lot of positions, right? And you I think made up for it in the race. It's pretty cool to see you do that. So how do you do that, Harsh?
So Australia, there are mainly two spots that I find easy to overtake. It's the first turn, right? And then it's the turn where where Shooter, the safety car incident happened that corner. So you can kind of send it there and hope that the other person gives you some space. But yeah, overtaking on Australia is really hard for DRS zones, so it's a long DRS chain. But yeah, you just gotta send it sometimes to make the moves and hope that the other player also gives you the adequate amount of space.
I see. Pretty good drive there from you, Harsh. Although Shrikant in the chat, he is saying something about sleeping with you. I don't know what he's implying there. I don't know what is going on in the chat, but
As PS, I would say he's unleashing his Kundalini.
true. Shrikant, I think with that retirement has unleashed his Kundalini, and I think it was good for the field as well that he DNF'd in that way. But pretty good drive from everyone in the top three, and Chips, maybe you can close it down.
Yes, firstly, thank you so much, PSI. Thank you for being on comms with me. It was super fun to have you on comms. Real entertainment tonight. Congrats to our top three, Oxidized, Ramen, and Harsh. Well done to all of you. Pending all stewards inquiry, you've still driven a brilliant race, so you can be very proud of it. And I just request you all to tune in tomorrow for D1, where you should see more of the same. Hopefully, less incidents, more overtaking. But
I'll be rooting for the Alpine team, boys.
Oh,
Hey,
thank you.
Alpine is love. It shall remain love forever. Omel Lamo.
Thank you very much, Harsh. We will keep that in mind, and we'll try not to combust like our real life counterparts. But yes, thank you.
Don't jumpstart and you'll be good.
I'll try. No promises. I'll try.
Alright.
So, thank you everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. Thank you very much, PSI. It was great having you on comms.
Thank you, Chips.
And thank you to all our drivers. Yes, very much so. And stay tuned for D1 tomorrow. Until then, take care. Thank you. Good night. And bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.